Welcome to Ask a Lawyer with the attorneys at Hepworth Holzer, life-changing law in Boise, Idaho. Today, it's John Janis. John is an AV preeminent peer review rated personal injury lawyer and is the 2015 Plaintiff's Lawyer of the Year by Best Lawyers in America. John answers your questions about the law and how it affects you.
John, what is wrongful death?
Wrongful death is a generic term that they give to the type of claim that can be brought when someone dies as a result of someone else's wrongful conduct. The claims that can be brought are called wrongful death, and it has all kinds of different ways that could arise, such as a car crash, such an airplane crash, or a medical error. It's basically a generic term that applies for any time you can make a claim for damages arising out of the death of somebody caused by somebody else's fault.
Okay, so who can make a wrongful death claim?
That's a good question. It's defined by the Idaho Code, and it actually has a little bit of legal complexities, but the easiest way to understand that is the heirs of the decedent, generally thinking in terms of the spouse, the children, or the decedent's parents. There are some others that are sometimes allowed, but those are the general ones.
All righty, then what's the difference between civil and criminal in wrongful death?
In the criminal case, when somebody kills somebody, they are charged with some form of homicide, and it's a case brought by the state that's looking to penalize them, sanction them, put them in jail. Obviously, somebody dying is a serious crime. But the civil case, that's brought by the heirs, as I said, seeking to recover compensatory damages, that there's compensation for the loss of the decedent caused by somebody else's fault.
John, here's a term I've heard quite a bit: punitive damages. What are they? Or are they recoverable?
Punitive damages are an unusual form of damages, but yes, they are recoverable. They're only recoverable under certain circumstances where the conduct of the defendant, if we're talking wrongful death, for example, the one who caused the death was particularly egregious. It wasn't just negligent, but it rose to the level of something even worse than that, such that they should be punished. The object of punitive damages is not to compensate the claimant, it is to punish the defendant. And it's up to a jury to decide how much would punish the defendant if they so decide.
Can someone sue for the pain and suffering of a decedent?
The simple answer to that question is no. When someone gets injured by somebody else, they can recover against that person for their pain and suffering. But if they eventually die from those injuries, the pain and suffering claim of the decedent dies with them.
Thanks for listening to Ask a Lawyer with the attorneys at Hepworth Holzer, life-changing law in Boise, Idaho. Join us next time as they answer your questions about the law and how it affects you. They can be reached at 208-343-7510 or hepworthholzer.com.